Dear students, welcome to the new session of e-learning. Hello, I am Navdeep, working as PGTIP in Cambridge International School, Dasur. Students, in the series of SQL lectures, so today we will learn one more topic, that is data manipulation in SQL. So, concentrating on today's topic, that is data manipulation. What do you mean by the term data manipulation? That is how to basically insert the data, update the data, and delete the data in the tables. So this section is basically covered in data manipulation language. The statements that fall under data manipulation are called data manipulation language, like insert statement, modify, update, delete. So all these are the part of data manipulation. So moving forward, students, what are the topics that we have covered? What is the basic of database, DBMS, key concepts in DBMS, different keys in relational database, installation of MySQL, and SQL for data definition. Data definition is first creating the structure. Data manipulation is then basically populating the data inside our database. So we are moving step by step. Then we covered that what are the different areas of application for databases. We took the example of the school for uh, where we can use our database concept. Students, this is the basic problem that we are focusing. We will be having three tables with us: guardian, student, and attendance table. They are all covered under the database. We have named that database as school. So all these three tables will fall under the school database. This is the description of these three tables. Table number one is student table with their attributes, then attendance, then the guardian table. Students, then we discussed the different keys in a relational database. Started with the candidate key, then we have the primary key with which we are able to identify the tuples uniquely in the table. Then we have a composite primary key, that is by combining multiple attributes we formulate a primary key. Then we have a foreign key with the help of which we join two or more tables. So we'll also exclusively work on this topic in the coming lectures. So then is how we have joined the tables. This is just a broader picture. Then students, we started that how we'll be able to do this. We'll be able to do with the help of a structured query language. So then we discussed the different types of attribute, data type of attribute. What are the different data types that we can use in attributes? So we discussed it. The number one is character, that is for fixed characters. Varchar is for variable characters. Then integer, then float is for decimal numbers, and date. These are the basic data types. We have advanced data types also. So first we will focus on these basic data types only. Then constraints. So constraints are the basically the conditions that we have to satisfy. What are the basic constraints in MySQL? Not null, that the value cannot be null inside a attribute. Unique, the value should be unique. Default, that if we don't explicitly mention the value from our own side, the default value will be used. Then primary key, so that is to ensure the uniqueness of the attribute. Then is foreign key, that is basically used to combine multiple tables. Then we discussed data definition. Data definition is basically formulating the structure of the database. So that is also called the data definition language. Here we basically focused on the statements: create statement, then alter table statements, so describe statement. So all the statements that deal with the structure part, so they are part of the data definition language. So you have to practice a bit. Today we are going to focus on the data manipulation language. What is data manipulation? So we have created The database named as school having three relations or three tables: student, guardian, and attendance. When we create a table, only its structure is created. So earlier we have just created the structure of the table with no data. To populate records in the tables, we need to use the insert statement. Similarly, a table records need to be deleted, updated. So all these are the part of data manipulation. That is how to insert, how to delete, and how to update the records inside the table. So the very first statement that we are going to focus today is the insert. How to insert the records inside the our tables. So insert into the statement is used to insert new records. The basic syntax is given: insert into, then we have to mention the name of the table, and then the keyword values, and then we have to mention the values ending with the semicolon. So students, without wasting any further time, just move to the MySQL platform. So for this one, the very first step is open your command prompt. So this is the command prompt. So moving to the root, so I will use my XAMPP. So cd mysql cd bin. So here mysql, give the this hyphen u is basically used for username. My username is root. So now I have basically entered into MySQL. Students, you can start with show databases. So these are the databases, and you can see the school is available here, the school database that we have created. So to enter into that, use school. Now we are inside school. You can see the list of tables, show tables. So we have just one table. So student table is there inside. So this table we have created earlier. Now we want to basically uh, insert values into this one. Students, I have already created one value inside this. So today we'll start with the second value, insert into. So this is the second value, insert into, then is the name of the table. Name of the table is student. Then the keyword again, values. So you have to write it as it is. So before entering the values, I will tell you that you should have a look at the structure of the table. Describe student. This is now you will have a better clarity. Here, what is the clarity that what are the attributes for which we are entering the values? So these are the attributes: roll number, name, student date of birth, and guardian ID. So now you will have a better idea. Insert into my table name is student values. So first value is roll number. So let's say roll number, I have entered one value. So let's say second roll number is 2. The name of the student is, let's say, Pradeep Kumar. Then the date of birth in the format, first you have to enter the year, 200, let's say 2004 hyphen month, let's say 12th month, and let's say the day is 25. Clear? So this is the date of birth. Then we have guardian character type. So we have kept it as 12. So let's say 12 characters are like this. Let's close this one, put the semicolon, enter. So now you see the query one row affected. So the statement is successfully done. How to see? For that we have a statement select select star from table name is our student. So students are here. You see that I have already inserted one record before this one. So now we have basically two records now here. So these are the records inside the student table. Now students, we have to also create one more table, that is the guardian table. So just that will have you a revision also how to create a table. So for that we have a keyword create table, then my table name is guardian. Guardian is the name of the table. Then the first attribute is guardian ID. Its data type is character 12. Then is guardian name, where variable length of, let's say, 20 characters. Then is uh, guardian phone. Guardian phone, its length is fixed 10 because mobile number is of 10 characters. And finally we have guardian address, that is where variable length of 30 characters. And finally make a primary key to guardian ID, GUID. That is, we have to make guardian ID as primary key. Just give the semicolon, enter. So now zero key affected. Now you can see the structure of the table. Describe. My table name is guardian, and now you can see the structure of the guardian. Now what we have to do, we have to enter the values here in this particular table. So that is insert into the table name is guardian, and values, first value is character. Let's say 1 1 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. So this is the guardian ID. Guardian name is Kumar. Then guardian phone number is, let's say, make any phone number. Clear. And finally the address of the guardian. So now I have entered one record into this guardian table. So you can see the structure of this table, oh sorry, the contents of this table. Select star from table name is guardian. So students, you can see the one record that we have already entered. So similarly now you can populate the uh, both the tables. So let's say you want to update some information in let's say that you want to update the uh, let's say the phone number of the guardian. So for that, up update update table name is guardian, set gphone equal to, let's say, 987281234 5. So I have changed the file number. So one row changed. So now you can see select. So you can use the arrow keys on the keyboard, so to move to the previous statement. So that is how you can move to the previous statement. So just enter. So now you can see students that I have updated the mobile number of the guardian. So this is very interesting that you have to practice these statements, and you will have a better clarity. So I have just today entered discussed only two new statements, insert and update. So you just practice these two statements, nothing difficult. And the topic that I discussed earlier was the installation. If you have any doubt in installation, again you can discuss it with me. How to leave the MySQL? Just type here quit, by message is here, exit, and now you leave the MySQL interface. So students, in MySQL we have focused on the DML part. In DML we have discussed the insertion of records as well as how to update a record that we have entered. So at the end of the session, I just thank you all for attending the session. Thank you very much.